Hello. So we're gonna do 2 minutes per each sun sign for the horoscope, for the transits, for August, for where the astronomical bodies are right now in our solar system in relation to the Earth and how that affects each sun sign. There's so much I could go into depth with, so much I could cover, but this is going to be the main, most important stuff. And as always, if you want to go deeper, I invite you to come get a reading. In the description of this video, there's the information to get in contact with me to set up your reading. We can cover anything you like. It's a totally confidential on my end, private, safe space. I love readings. I've done them for over 10 years. I have, I think, like 45 5-star reviews just from this year alone on my Yelp page. So that's what I'm here for. I love to help people, and I've been doing this a long time. I've done way more than 45 readings, even just recently. But yeah, come get a reading. It's always a good time. We cover love life, life purpose, etc. So I invite you also to check out the section for your moon energy and your rising energy. I think that you'll get a lot from that. So for example, I'm a Gemini, I have moon in Cancer, I have rising Leo. So for me, if I wasn't making this video, I would recommend check out the Gemini section, check out the moon energy, Cancer, and also check out the rising Leo for me. So that's really good to keep in mind because that offers a lot of information. I'll give you perspective. But we are going to be focusing on the sun signs, okay? All right, let's jump in. And I don't know if I said this already. By the way, I'm going to do 2 minutes per each energy just because I'm trying to keep this condensed because otherwise I'll just go on and on. There's so much information to offer. So let's begin. All right, Aries. So the sun is in Leo. It's a fire energy. It's the first fire energy since your birthday. It's really good to think of the months as kind of like 12 steps leading from a person's birthday and going to the next birthday. So there's a lot of energy in your favor here, a lot to work with. All energy is good, but this is an energy that's really smooth. So you can express yourself easily, you can be creative easily, you can enjoy your life easy. I think one thing that's good to keep in mind is Jupiter is retrograde and it's in Aries. Jupiter's been in Aries since May 10th, and this is awesome because the ability to move forward for all of us is really powerful and pronounced at this time. For you, this is all the more so, but because Jupiter is retrograde, it's time to slow up. We don't want to go too far forward too quickly, we want to take our time. I think especially since we have all this Leo energy, especially until, August 4th is right around the corner from making this video, but especially until August 4th when Mercury will also be in Leo until then. So there's a lot of fire energy already, even with the rest of August though, even though when Mercury will chill out August 4th and we'll all be a little bit more logical and rational and calm and patient, still Venus will go into Leo August 11th. So that's not bad, and actually for impatience that's still pretty good, but in general, again, there's so much fire energy. We want to make sure we don't blow up. We want to take our time. Patience goes a long way. I know there might be a lot of frustration because Mars is in Taurus right now. That's your ruling astronomical body, and it's not a fast energy. It's one of the slowest, but it's a thorough energy. It's a steady energy. So take your time. And what's beautiful is because it's conjunct Uranus, you can experience massive leaps forward, but that's only if you're patient. So if you take your time, you'll be able to follow through with things. All of a sudden you're there before you realize it, even though you might be like, oh, it's taking forever. So it's all good. Enjoy the fire energy. It's there to have fun, especially from the 11th onwards. All right, Taurus. So this is a major time period for you because Mars is in Taurus. It's conjunct Uranus in Taurus. So both Mars and Uranus are conjunct your Sun, if not directly. Still, even if you have like a 29-degree Sun in Taurus, you still got Sun in Taurus. That Mars and that Uranus in Taurus is still affecting you. So what does this mean? Really make it or break it. And obviously we want to make it. Obviously. I think though the key is to just make sure you keep moving forward in practical ways with what it is that is most important to you. So simplify. This is something that applies to everyone, but for you especially, simplify. What are your goals? Just focus on that one goal, right? How do you move forward? And if you just keep carrying on, then you can make a tremendous amount of progress. And in fact, you can make massive leaps forward at this time. But what's nice about these energies is they play to your strengths, especially Mars. Actually, Mars really is the one playing to your strength of being patient, being steady. Even if you got other energies that are a bit more, impatient or chaotic, that Sun in Taurus ultimately keeps you very level-headed, very able to breathe into what you're doing and focusing on what you're doing. So just keep at that, one step at a time. Don't stop, don't go too quickly, and you're going to make incredible progress. There might be a lot of tension. This is a time period, it's like the first quarter since your birthday, quarter of a year. So this is a kind of a check-in point of, okay, what's good, what's working, and what's maybe not so good, what needs some adjustment, what's not working. And this could go from projects that we're focusing on as per ways that you're living your life, etc. But this is a great time to break yourself out of a rut if you find yourself you're stuck in any kind of rut in life. I think last thing is August 4th, Mercury will go into Virgo. It'll chill things out tremendously when it comes to the thought processes. Everyone's kind of acting pretty in their egos, and that's not a bad thing, but like everything, it's all about balance. So August 4th, it'll be a lot easier to think practically and logically, and people will chill out a lot too. All right, Gemini, my fellow Geminis. So I feel you. Mars is in Taurus, and it is very challenging for us in a lot of ways because it is one of the, in fact, I would say it's the slowest energy out there, but slow is not bad, and I think that's always something that we struggle with and that we need to learn in this lifetime, is to learn the value of being steady and stable and following through and not just focusing on the near future, but looking at the big picture of things. So just be patient. It might feel interminably slow, but slow and steady wins the race. It's true. And what's nice is on August 20th, Mars will move into Gemini. So we are actually as slow as things are right now, or it feels like, okay, I'm shooting for this goal, I'm looking for this progress. On the 20th, things take off like crazy. So we want to make sure that we have a really good preparation, a good foundation for things. We want to keep things moving forward. That can be a temptation with Mars and Taurus for anybody, but I think especially for us, it's like things aren't moving fast enough, so fuck it, I'm not even going to focus at all. I'm not going to, we want to keep things moving. Even if it's going slow, it's still progress. And again, by the 20th, things move forward quickly. Something that's really helpful is Mercury goes into Virgo August 4th, right around the corner. That is a lot, even though Mercury Leo is fun, what we're experiencing right now until the 4th, Mercury in Virgo is a lot more enjoyable for us. It's in the sense of being able to think rationally, precisely, focus, and be very practical. That's something that's very helpful for us. We want to make sure that we meditate, go for daily walks, do your daily self-care routine. We want to make sure that's part of things as well. And Mercury's flying in August. It goes into Libra on the 25th, so that's going to be very enjoyable for communication, etc. We'll get into that from the next video. But overall, we're looking at a good mental month, being able to think things through. And I think with Venus and Leo on the 11th, that is going to be really enjoyable to be able to associate with other people, to have fun, to be romantic or creative, flamboyant. That's going to be something that's quite enjoyable from about mid-August onwards. Cancer. So Venus is still in Cancer until the 11th, and I think that's a major balm at this time, so kind of a nice soothing energy, because there's a lot of fire for this month, and that's not bad. And indeed, I think that it's good to lean into it and to enjoy it. Leo is probably I think it's definitely the fire energy that is most easily enjoyed by Cancer energy, but it still is a lot. So I understand if you're feeling like, God, people are kind of a bit much to be around right now or whatever, but enjoy it and enjoy expressing yourself. Even when Venus does move on from Cancer into Leo on the 11th, enjoy that too. Something that's really cool is Leo and Cancer are very much connected. Cancer's the moon, Leo's the sun and the moon are all about they're deeply connected as per their processes, especially here on Earth. So enjoy when Venus goes into Leo on the 11th, even though up until that point will be definitely a lot of lovely times connecting with family. Often the 11th and after, there's still going to be a lot of lovely times connecting with family and loved ones too. It's just going to be a little bit more flamboyant, more creative, more fun, more focused on laughter instead of like the heart-to-heart more sensitive, maybe gathering around meals. I mean, you can still gather around meals, but then there's board games after, right? So that's something that's really good to look forward to on the 11th and afterwards. And I think otherwise, Mercury will go into Virgo August 4th. I think this especially is going to be really lovely for you, all the other water signs and other earth signs, because Mercury in Leo is a lot for really anyone. There's great things about it, but it is a lot to handle. So when Mercury goes into Virgo on the 4th, that's really nice because it'll cool things down. People won't be quite so quick to be in their ego and be offended, or you don't have to like, oh God, where are people coming from? So that'll be nice. And also Mars will be in Taurus until the 20th. I think this is something that's really lovely. Just work at your goals one step at a time. Be patient, work with the moon over the course of this lunar cycle, like with every lunar cycle. And you'll be able to find that you've made great progress by the end of August. Even by August 20th, you'll have made great progress. Just keep going at it. Don't get down if you feel like you're stuck with anything. Just keep moving forward. Leo, so happy birthday. It's your solar return. A solar return, yes, birthdays are very fun in and of themselves, but they're also a major astrological event. Astronomical too. It's when the transiting sun is directly conjunct your natal sun. So it's the end of one year, it's the beginning of the next. Whenever your birthday is exactly, that is the time period it's the foundation, it's the beginning for the next year. So enjoy your birthday and also be thinking of, okay, what do I want to experience for this next year? How do I want to grow? How do I want to express myself? What all the good stuff, all the good plans that you have. Venus will be going into Leo on August 11th. This is really good news for Leos. It's just a lot of fun. It's good for everybody, but for you especially, it's just a lot of fun with other people. Indeed, like, don't party too hard. I think especially with Jupiter in Aries retrograde, make sure you don't go too overboard with things. That's good to keep in mind with everything, but especially when it comes to partying. There's too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So that's a good warning, that's a good like problem to have. But I mean, as long as you don't go overboard, because overall there's so much goodness for you for this month. So enjoy it, make the most of it, network, have lovely romantic times with others. I think two things real quick. So Mercury will go into Virgo on August 4th. This is really great. It's been wonderful and fabulous to have Mercury Leo. It always is, but it's been a lot because we've had Sun and Mercury in Leo. That doesn't happen every year. So even as much as it's been lovely for you, it will be nice when Mercury goes into Virgo because things will chill out and you'll be able to think things through and you won't be quite so much in your feels. You won't be quite so sensitive, maybe taking offense to things and whatnot. That'll be really good on the 4th to be able to think things a little bit more logically, to be calm, to not be so quick to jump into drama. That's always important because that's not your best. Your best is being very calm and mature, even if other people are being immature. And I think one last thing, Mars is in Taurus. This is a pretty tricky energy for you because it requires a lot of patience. And overall, you're very able to be patient, but this is also matching this is creating a T-square with transiting Saturn being in Aquarius. So you're experiencing a lot of pressure from Saturn. You have really for the last year and a half. So it's got to be patient with that pressure and just keep doing your best, keep checking in. With whatever it is that you're working on and keep moving it one step at a time. All you have to do is just check in and do that little bit of work that keeps the momentum going forward. And don't lose your cool, Be patient, enjoy the process. And you'll find that by August 20th, you'll have made a lot of progress and then things will pick up considerably. Enjoy. Happy birthday. Virgo. So this is really good news. Mercury will go into Virgo August 4th. This is really great for everybody because Mercury and Leo, there's so much wonderful gifts about that energy, but it is a bit much. And so when Mercury goes into Virgo, that will be really lovely for you because you'll be able to think a lot more logically. You'll be able to be more orderly and your communications will be a lot smoother with other people. You'll be able to focus on the details, get things figured out, get things right, and to communicate them with other people. That being said, for these last couple of days, Mercury Leo, enjoy it. And I think that's really a big message for this month in general. There's a lot going in your favor. We'll get to that. But there's a lot of Leo energy here. And as much as Leo is a very different energy to Virgo. That's kind of the point too, is to enjoy that, right? To enjoy expressing yourself, enjoy thinking about, okay, who am I as a person? How do I express myself? How do I inspire others? How do I encourage others in my own particular way? That's something to enjoy. You have some really good energies. Honestly, this is a sweet month for you. As long as you breathe and go on your daily walks, do your daily self-care routine, then you won't get bogged down by all of these energies that are working with you. But yeah, Mars is in Taurus, it's conjunct Uranus. It requires patience, but honestly, this is right in your wheelhouse of being able to work with the practical world and just keep moving things forward one step at a time. It is good to be patient with that, but I think honestly it's going to be pretty easy for you. Mars will go into Gemini on the 20th. That could be a bit more stressful, but honestly, that too is an energy that plays into your favor really easily, because that's a Mercury ruled energy. Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury, so you'll be able to think very quickly. So if you do feel like things aren't moving very fast for the first 20 days of August, by the last 10 days things are flying, and that's really good to look forward to. And last, Mercury will go into Libra on the 25th, so communication with loved ones will pick up a lot on the 25th. We'll get into that for the next month's transit reading, but overall, just keep at your goals one step at a time. You're going to make incredible progress this month. Libra. This is a pretty smooth month for you overall. Venus is going through energies that it's cool with. The sun is in a fire energy. There's a lot of energies that are really easy for you to tap into, but it does require, I think, that extra bit of effort. It's not like it's a huge effort, but it is important to make sure you put yourself out there, especially when August 11th comes around and Venus goes into Leo, to make sure that you are there to be seen, you are there to communicate, you're there to have the connection with other people. Because if you don't make that effort to put yourself out there, then opportunities can pass you by. This is a really lovely time to spend time with loved ones, especially in a romantic way when Venus goes into Leo on the 11th and onwards. So that's really great. Connecting with family though too, that's something that a lot of people don't understand about Leo energy, is it's very much about family. So I think in general, this is a good month to practice. You're so focused on other people and taking care of other people and being in good connection with other people, making sure your relationships with other people are great, and that's beautiful. But this is a month, I mean, we never want to sacrifice our relationships with other people, but this is a month where you really get to enjoy being yourself, and you get to focus on yourself in a really healthy way, in a positive way. So enjoy all this Sun and Leo ego. It's there to be enjoyed. Lastly, Mercury will be going into Libra on the 25th, so communication with others is going to be fantastic for the last week of this month, and we're going into next month. Oh, there's some other stuff actually. Mars goes into Gemini on the 20th of this month. So that's great. Your ideas are going to be flowing for the last 10 days. The communication with others will be flowing. Take a breath. Make sure you do your self-care routine. That's really important. And I think lastly, Jupiter is retrograde in Aries. So this is great for all of us because it's the beginning of the next 12 years. For you, I think you can gain a lot by working with other people and being inspired with other people to make great things happen, especially for big developments in your life. But also, I want you to focus on, again, kind of like what this month is all about, focus on self as well. Bring out the best in yourself, and partnerships with other people will naturally align. If you have both of those things covered, life is easy. And I think one last thing, Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius. Take time to inspect your ideas, your ideals, your social connections, what's working, what's not, what needs some tinkering. Find out more information as need be. I didn't say this for any other sun sign, but honestly, it's a great idea to come get a reading, because this Saturn retrograde is affecting us air signs especially. And looking at the long-term big picture of things can be really great. I've been reading for a lot of Libras lately, I just realized actually, or Sun in the house of Libra, which is the same thing. So cool, beautiful, that's what I'm here for. And info again on information for readings is in the description of this video. Have fun. All right, Scorpio, this just like I said for Taurus, your partner energy, this is really a make it or break it month. And again, we want to make it. We can always focus on making it rather than breaking it. The key here is handling transiting Mars conjunct Uranus in Taurus. And what does this mean? Essentially, how are you handling your emotions? Maybe a better question is, what are you feeling, and how is what you're feeling affecting what you're doing? Are you moving forward with your goals? That's probably the best way to measure how you're doing emotionally. In certain ways, of course, otherwise they're also meditating, reflecting, asking yourself how you're feeling. That's really great too, of course. But I think it's really important to check in with your feelings and checking in with your goals, and are you reaching your goals? Because this Mars conjunct Uranus and Taurus is a great way to break yourself out of a rut, and if things are going good, then to make it even better, to evolve to that next step. We're all experiencing this opportunity, but for you it's a really amazing opportunity, and if you're going on a downward spiral, you can turn it into an upward spiral really quickly with this transit if you really just focus and you buckle down and you get in there and you keep moving forward. I think something that's really good to keep in mind is, how are you handling your anger? Because Mars is about anger. So are you burying it? Are you letting it fester and blow up? Are you being too quick to be angry? These are some things that are good to consider. I think one other thing is, this is a month that can be enjoyable in certain ways, because you can find yourself expressing yourself more easily than you might otherwise usually would do. But it is a bit of a tension, because this is a transit. Whenever Sun is in Leo, it's a time period leading up to your birthday, so it's a check-in point of like, okay, what's good and what needs adjustment this last year. So basically the last 9 months, what has gone my way, and what have I been really focused and diligent with, and what have I been through, what have I survived, how have I grown, but also what is not there yet. And of course, for all of us, there's always room for improvement, exploration, checking out new things, getting new information. You might be feeling a lot of tension at this time, but this is a great check-in point, and if you answer that tension with patience and attention to detail of how do I move forward as a person, then August can be an incredible pivot month for you, where you make big changes and you lead up to a really good foundation for your birthday, which sets you up for this entire next year to come. Sagittarius, this is a very smooth month for you. You have the Sun in Leo for the vast majority of it. Then you have Venus in Leo on August 11th. You have Jupiter in Aries. There's a lot going in your favor for this month. I think, though, it's really important to make sure you're staying grounded and you're not rushing forward too quickly. Sagittarians, just like us Geminis, the partner energy is so similar in so many ways. This is a challenging time period in one respect, because Mars is in Taurus, conjunct Uranus in Taurus. It is one of the slowest energies out there, Mars in Taurus, but it's thorough. It's more steady and stable and thorough than any other Mars energy, or really in so many ways any other energy, when it comes to making sure you get stuff done. So the key here is to be patient with your progress. Just take one step at a time. Keep the big picture in mind. It's a very exciting time to be focused on the big picture, but just simplify things and just focus on what's right in front of you. Make that as good as possible. Everything else will fall into place as time goes on, especially when August 20th comes around, because Mars will go into Gemini, and then all of a sudden everything's moving so quickly. So you want to make sure you have a really solid foundation for the 20th, because otherwise you might find yourself kind of spinning out of control if you're like being impatient and you're not moving forward in a steady way. Maybe you're just like, oh, it's not moving forward at all, or I just want to focus on things that are fun, so I'm just going to focus on something else. Make sure you follow through with the things that are necessary. I know it's not the most exciting message in the world, but if you do that, then you're going to be making a lot of progress, which is exciting. And when the 20th comes around, you're then going to skyrocket in the right direction with the right ideas, and things are just going to click in your favor, and you're going to be able to communicate with people, knowing exactly what it is that you need and how to move forward, and it's just going to be really great. So Again, take your time. I know there's a lot of fire energy here, and that's beautiful. Enjoy it, especially August 11th onwards. All of the fun at the parties, especially with loved ones, family, whatever. Great. That's really great, and you can really gain a lot from it. I think, especially if you have Venus in Sag, but any kind of Venus energy, being a Sagittarius, still awesome for this month. So yeah, just take your time. I think especially August 4th, when Mercury goes into Virgo, it'll be a lot easier to think rationally and calmly and patiently. So that'll help a lot. And again, attention to detail goes a long way this month. All right. Capricorn. So I know that there's a lot of energies. It's just an interesting month for you. Because on the one hand, there's a lot of energies in your favor, like tremendously in your favor, great opportunities to move forward. We'll get into that. But there's also a lot of energies here that are quite different. I wouldn't say difficult necessarily, but definitely different. I think that the key here is to just stay focused on enjoying yourself, not taking things too seriously. That's one of the beautiful benefits of all this Leo energy, is you gotta have fun and you gotta express yourself. And whereas you might otherwise usually like to be more serious and focus on work, this is a time to play. It's a time to enjoy your inner child, and I think that's something that's really important for all of us at this time. But especially for you, because Capricorn, you're so focused on your missions in life and your goals, and that's beautiful. And that's exactly how you're meant to be. But and honestly, we all can learn from you with that regard. But we all can learn from Leo too. We all can learn from each other, no matter what energy we have. And we all can learn from this Leo energy, this Leo season, to be a bit more fun and playful and enjoy it, enjoy expressing ourselves. So the good stuff, though, that is really nice to tap into, that is totally in your wheelhouse, is Mercury goes into Virgo August 4th. Attention to detail. You're going to be able to focus, you're going to be able to follow through, you're going to be able to be very calm and logical, you'll be able to communicate with other people, and they won't be all dramatic and crazy, which until the 4th is still going to be going on. It's enjoyable, it can be fun, but honestly, it's more of an energy until the 4th that can be a little bit frustrating. So on the 4th, beautiful, you'll be able to hone in on what it is that you need to be focused on and thinking about and learning about, communicating with other people and working together. And also Mars is in Taurus conjunct Uranus, so just focus on reaching your goals one step at a time. Don't focus on how other people are, how crazy they may be acting at this time, how impatient they may be, etc. This is a lot easier energy for you to deal with than other people, so it's good to be compassionate. But honestly, even if people are acting impatient and wild and whatever, you can rest assured knowing that you're moving forward one step at a time. If you work with Mars and Taurus by just clocking in each day and making the necessary progress, then momentum will keep moving forward, and it's all good. And you'll set yourself up really beautifully for this entire month as well as for the entire future. I think one last thing, Saturn, your ruling astronomical body, is retrograde. So take time to inspect your ideas, your ideals, your social connections, what's working and what's not, what needs some tinkering. This is really the last opportunity that you'll be able to work with this until another 29 years or so. So really take your time and look at your ideas, your ideals, your social connections. How are they helping you to move forward to reaching your goals, or how are they not, and what changes need to be made? And be patient with it. Be patient, but it is a good time to look at these things. Aquarius. So this is what I like to call your full sun time of the year. Essentially, just like with the full moon being opposite the sun, your natal sun in Aquarius is opposite the transiting sun, right? Well, technically the transiting sun is opposite your natal sun, whatever. Anyways, what this means is this is the ultimate kind of culmination of your year, of what began since your birthday of this year, and checking in 6 months before your next birthday, which will begin the next year, which will culminate with about a year from now when the sun is in Leo, etc. So this is a really good time again to enjoy the fruits of your labor for the last 6 months. To kind of dial in where are you going for the next 6 months, what needs to change, how do you need to grow, what do you need to learn, etc. What's going good and we just need to maintain, etc. Something that's really helpful is Mercury will be going into Virgo on the 4th of August. So a lot more logical thinking, focusing on the details. That's going to be really good, really important to focus on. I think that Venus in Leo goes on. Venus goes into Leo on August 11th. So that's going to be really enjoyable. You'll be able to connect with other people, to network, and to express yourself, and to have a lot of goodness come to you through other people. That's one of the best things about this. Could be new opportunities, new prosperity, but you have to put yourself out there and connect with other people to access that. I think one other thing is Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius, so this is a really good time you're feeling a lot of pressure. You have been since the beginning of 2021. You're growing though, so take your time, be patient with yourself, focus on your ideas, your ideals, and your social network. How are you bringing out the best in yourself to contribute to the collective of humanity? And you don't need to make all the necessary changes that might be coming up in this month. You have until March for Saturn to go into Pisces, and of course, even after that, you can keep growing and whatnot, of course, in any particular way that you notice this month that you need to grow. But this is the month to really inspect these things and figure out, okay, what practically is working for me and what is working against me, as per really, it could be anything in life, but especially anything that has to do with the mind. That really plays into Mars and Uranus. They're conjunct in Taurus. You can move forward incredibly this month, but you got to be patient and just keep clocking in, keep the momentum moving forward. Focus on the practical actions of things. Don't overthink it. These energies just focus one step. They function one step at a time. So keep at your goals one step at a time. And by the 20th, when Mars goes into Gemini, oh my goodness, it's going to fly forward. So you want to make sure there's a solid foundation so that when August 20th comes around, you're set up really nicely. And Pisces. So I think that a couple things. Mercury will be going into Virgo August 4th. So this is going to help tremendously to organize your life, to have a very clear understanding of, okay, this is what's happening, and this is why, and this is how I make this more effective, and this is how I organize that. It's going to be really helpful. Communication with others too will be a lot more, I think, in a lot of ways, more organized too, in the sense of people not overreacting. That can be a bit much with all this fire energy, I think, especially with the sun in Leo too. But I think August 4th onwards, honestly, it should chill out a bit. August 11th, Venus will go into Leo, and that could be a lot of fun, especially for creativity, connecting with other people. But with that too, it might be, it might feel a bit much. If people are being dramatic, just go away. I think that's the key, is don't get caught up in other people's drama. That's really important. And if people around you are, if you put yourself around people who are really cool, then you'll have a really enjoyable time with this. And you can enjoy the warmth, which is the best of Sun and Leo, the love, the passion, the compassion, connecting with family, connecting with loved ones in general, expressing yourself, being imaginative and creative. These are wonderful gifts here. So I think that's a big thing here, is just put yourself around people who have a very positive energy. I think one other thing is Mars is conjunct Uranus. Make things simple as per what you're focused on in life, how you wish to grow. Simplify and follow through. Keep at it day in, not even day in and day out. It's just like you just gotta show up enough to keep the momentum moving forward. If you let things go, then things can end up being a little bit chaotic when Mars goes into Gemini on the 20th. But if you really just make it a little bit of time each day to keep clocking in and keep moving forward with your goals, then when the 20th comes around, then all of a sudden you'll have all these ideas, and communication will be really good with others, and things will be moving forward really effectively. So all of that is founded upon these next 20 days though. What foundation are you creating? Are you checking in and moving things forward? If so, beautiful. It's all good. I think one last thing is really just take your time with things. Jupiter is retrograde, as is Neptune. Both of these energies, both of these astronomical bodies are the rulers of Pisces energy. So take your time, go inwards, meditate. Things will become a lot more clear when you do so. And you'll have a better understanding of where you're going in the long term, and what you need to do and how you need to be to get there. You'll be able to take care of yourself a lot more effectively in taking your time and then being really precise in your thinking, as Mercury goes into Virgo on the 4th. Enjoy this month, y'all. It's been fun as always. I'm doing readings. As always, I have a bunch of videos on my channel, and there's more on the way. Infinite love to you, my friends. Namaste. Peace.